You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Listen, today's episode is going to be a little different because I want to let you behind the curtain. I want to share the essence of my work, the truth I stand on, and the reason I do what I do. Because if you're here listening to this podcast, chances are you are a woman who's done everything right? You've gone to college, you've gotten the degrees with an S for many of us, and you make good money. You've worked hard. You're smart, capable, and successful by all standards, right? People look at you as the successful one, the one who has it all together, the one who seems to have gotten it right. But deep down, you still feel financially stuck and no one knows but you. Maybe you share it with a friend, maybe you share it with a coworker, but really it's just you. You may spend more than you want to. You're carrying credit card debt from month to month. Maybe you have a ton of student loans. Your savings aren't where you want them to be. And maybe you're feeling like I should just be so much further along by now. And listen, I get it because I've been there. I paid off over $200,000 worth of debt and built a multiple six-figure net worth that continues to grow. And I've learned so much from my own experience. What I share with you on this podcast, what I share with my clients inside of Own Your Wealth, it's not theory. It's my real life, what I've gone through, what I've overcome, and what I've learned. And then I also have shared it with other clients. They've used it, they've learned, and it worked for them. And so that is what I share. I'm not sharing theory. I'm not sharing something that I learned or read about in a book. This is what I've experienced. This is my real life. And now I'm here showing you how to get through it. And the key for me was not following, again, traditional money advice. It was by changing my thoughts about money, by changing the way I thought about myself, by really getting to the root causes of my money issues. And that is what I want to offer you here today. There are 3 core beliefs that literally shape everything I teach and coach on. And if you let them, these beliefs will absolutely change your financial life. So I'm sharing them with you today. You're welcome to take them on or you're welcome to leave them. But I'm telling you, these are my core beliefs, and everything I teach, everything I coach on are grounded in these 3 core beliefs. So let's get to them. Belief number 1 is you can do both. You can build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. Listen, let's just call it what it is. It's the do both method. You've heard it plenty of times if you are a long time listener, but if you are new to the podcast, this may be a new concept to you. But here it is in a nutshell. You do not have to sacrifice your life to get your money together. You do not have to cancel vacations, cut out lattes, or live on rice and beans for the next decade just to build wealth. That story we've been told that building wealth means sacrifice and restriction and giving up everything and waiting until retirement to live. That is for the birds, and that is keeping so many women stuck. This is why women retire with way less money than they need versus men, because we have been sold this bill of goods that we've got to sacrifice in order to build wealth, but we don't want to do that. That is against human nature. We are here to live and enjoy life. And when you are told that, nope, that's really not what you should be doing. You should be sacrificing. And then when you're retired in your 60s or 70s, that's when you live. That just doesn't resonate. It doesn't land. And we do nothing instead. We avoid our money. We tell ourselves that we'll work on it later, that we have time, and it just doesn't work out. Here's proof to that. I know that for my real life, because you heard my story, I avoided all things money because I thought I had to do this. But Fidelity Investments found that 76% of the people they surveyed in their money mindset study believed that they have to give up the things that bring them joy in order to save or to get out of debt or to invest. And then 71% they found are motivated to save, but don't want to sacrifice their lifestyle. So think about that. Most of them want to save, but they don't want to give up their life, but they think they have to give up their life. So they're stuck. Like, I want to save, but I don't want to give up my life, but I have to give up my life. So it's just like they're stuck and they do nothing. They freeze, they avoid it, they put it off until a later time. And that is the one thing that you should not do with your money, is put it off until later, because time is money when it comes to money, especially when you talk about investing. And so this is why women are retiring with less money than men, because we have been sold this lie for years. And I am here to shout from the rooftop that it's BS. You do not have to do it this way. And I believe that if you really take this to heart, you can literally change your life. It will open you up to getting control of your money, to getting serious about your finances, and really getting clear on what it means for you to enjoy life. Because most of us are spending on any and everything without intention, and that is not the definition of enjoying life. I teach my clients the true definition of enjoying life, which is all about connecting to what truly matters to you in your heart of hearts, not what Instagram says a good life is, but what's truly a good life for you. And then setting aside money to do that, to live that life. And then that frees up so much cash so that you can meet your financial goals and have some financial goals and set them and actually achieve them. So women aren't avoiding money because they're irresponsible or undisciplined. They're avoiding their money because of that lie I just shared with you all. But I want you to know that you can let it all go. You can do both. You can sip the latte and stack the savings. You can travel and invest. You can build wealth and enjoy life in the process. Now, here's something I've also seen. A lot of women take an all or nothing approach when it comes to their money. They go hard. They cut everything out. They buckle down. They throw every dollar at their debt or savings. And then guess what happens? They burn out. Of course they did. Then they feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do this any longer. So they take a break just for now. And then before you know it, they're disengaged with their money and they have to then find this willpower or this motivation to start again. Why? Because deprivation doesn't work long term. Because willpower is something that we have a very limited amount of. It always runs out. So when you're constantly restricting yourself, you will eventually swing in the total opposite direction, where you overspend to make up for how deprived you feel. And then you feel like, dang it, I'm back on square one again. Like, how did I get here? That's why my do both method is different. It's not about going hard and burning out. It's about building a sustainable system for your money, one where you're progressing financially and enjoying life at the same time. That's the foundation of everything I teach. And when you learn that wealth doesn't have to mean self-denial, that's when you open up and that's when the possibilities become endless. Okay, so now let's talk about my second core belief, which is this: nothing's wrong with you. You just haven't learned the right money skills yet. I don't care how many times you've messed up with money. I don't care how far behind you feel. You can change. I'm talking to you. Yes, you. You can fix your finances. You can build wealth, period. You are not too far gone. I literally had a woman tell me that I shouldn't waste my time on her because she was too far gone, and it literally hurt my heart. That is not true. You are never too far gone. And yes, I say this as someone who's been in over $200,000 worth of debt. I say this as someone who filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy. I say this as someone whose money was a hot mess. And I didn't get out by being more disciplined or finding the perfect budgeting system. I had to become someone different, someone who treated money differently and someone who saw herself differently. I had to stop thinking of myself as a lost cause, as someone who was bad with money, as someone who was just destined to always struggle with money. And that is what I help my clients do, because the truth is most overspending isn't about money. It's about trying to feel better. Isn't that interesting, right? If you have a bad day, scrolling by, bored. If you're stressed, if you're anxious, you add things to your cart. But here's the thing. Emotional spending doesn't always look like swiping your card at Target or on Amazon. Sometimes it's even deeper than that. Sometimes it shows up like this, by going back to school again and again and again. Another degree, another certification, another program. Not because you need it, but because you're trying to prove something about yourself. I talk to women all the time who have multiple degrees and a ton of student loans to match. And the clients that I work with who are in this situation, they realize that it wasn't about the degrees. It wasn't necessarily about the credentials, not all the time. It was about self-validation. So a lot of people go back to school, get more degrees, not because this is the next step in their career and it's logical and it's planned. It's like, no, I'm not good enough the way I am, so let me go back and get another degree. Or sometimes it's like, okay, I'm bored with where I am and let me go back and get another degree. So it's like we're using these degrees, these certifications, these letters behind our names to validate ourselves and to almost entertain ourselves as well. And this is because, again, we've been sold a bill of lies that the more degrees you have, if you just achieve a little bit more, then you'll be enough. Then you'll feel secure. Then you'll finally belong. But here's what I want you to know. You do not need another degree to prove that you matter. You just need to stop being confused about who you truly are. Because a title will never make you more worthy than you already are. Now, let me be clear. I am not knocking degrees or self-development. I'm all for investing in your growth. But those investments should come from a dollar and cents place, not just an emotional one. So ask yourself, will this degree position me to make more money? Will it lead to a promotion, new opportunities, or long-term income growth? Am I making this decision based on strategy or insecurity? Is there another way to pay for it? Let's say yes to all those things. Like, it's a great decision. You're not doing it from a place of thinking it'll make you more worthy or that you're not good enough as you are. Get a little deeper. How else can you pay for this? I'll give you a quick story. My husband has multiple degrees, you guys, way more degrees than I do. And the last two that he got were not paid for by us. He found fellowships and opportunities to get it paid for. So you can do the same thing. Like, if you're definitely sure that this is what you need and this is what you want, let's get real strategic about how you pay for them versus just going into deeper student loan debt. Now, sometimes that is the only way, and that's okay, but just do it from a place of, I'm already enough, I'm already amazing, I'm already worthy, I'm doing this for a very strategic purpose. I'm getting this degree and going into student loan debt for a very strategic purpose. And I know that there will be a good return on my investment. Because if you're spending tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on degrees just to feel good enough, it's not just your finances that are going to suffer, but you are going to constantly beat yourself up because you went into debt, because you thought it was going to give you this feeling of worthiness that it didn't give you. So it hits your confidence hard. So I teach a concept called the 3 C's of overspending. And this is one of the deeper forms of what I call confusion spending, when we make financial decisions from a shaky place of identity. Like, you are not sure about who you are. You think you're not good enough. You're not who you really are. You don't know who you really are, and you're confused about that. Then you start to do things like this. And it's one of the reasons women end up with multiple degrees, hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt, and still don't feel confident with money. Listen, you do not need to earn your worth. You are already 100% worthy. There is nothing wrong with you. So the gist of this core belief is that you can learn the skills of money. Now, I did several episodes on the skills of money. You can go back and listen to them. They're episodes 111 through 128. They're sprinkled in between there. And they can help you with this. And of course, if you want more hands-on private guidance and step-by-step processes and some accountability on your side, I'd love to help you in my program, Own Your Wealth, which is my private one-to-one program where I work with you on your money for an entire year. We get all of it cleaned up. And if that is something you're interested in, all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/consult to book a financial clarity consultation, and we'll look at where you are, where you want to be. And if I feel like I can help you to get there, I will tell you exactly how Own Your Wealth can work for you. Okay, so now let's move on to the final core belief that I have, which is belief number 3. And here it is. There are 5 core areas of money, and you need all of them working together. Okay, so most of my clients do not have an income problem. Many of them come to me with a solid income, but almost all of them grow their income while working with me. They get promoted, they go after new opportunities, they start charging more for their services if they have their own business, or they finally start a new income stream, one that they've been thinking about for years. So even though their income is good, we often take it from good to great in my Own Your Wealth coaching program. So I always say that your income earning potential is unlimited. It is only limited by your thoughts, by your thinking about what's possible for you. So remember what I said earlier. I didn't do a lot of traditional money advice. I had to change the way I thought about money, and I had to change how I thought about myself. And a lot of us have limited our earning potential by what we think about ourselves and about what we think is possible for our earning. So I work with my clients deeply on that while we're working together. But here are the real issues. Their spending might feel out of control. Some months they're super disciplined. Other months it's a free-for-all. They're stuck in the cycle of debt. They may pay it off, but somehow it comes right back again. Their savings can't seem to grow past a certain point, and their investments are either minimal, neglected, or non-existent. So they may be investing the bare minimum by getting the match with their 401k, or maybe they have an old 401k that they haven't moved or looked at in years, or maybe they've been putting it off altogether and telling themselves that they'll invest later, that they have time, and they'll do it once things feel more stable. But like I said earlier, time is your best friend when it comes to building wealth. Listen, it's never too late. So don't use this against yourself by thinking, oh, it's too late for me. It's never too late. That saying that the best time to have planted a tree was 40 years ago, the next best time is today, that stands true, right? Time is your best friend. So when you tell yourself, I have time, I'll do it later, you put it off and put it off. When it comes to investing, you miss out on what Albert Einstein calls the 8th wonder of the world, compounding interest. So it's not about timing the market. It is about spending time in the market. And that is how you build real wealth. So the truth is, all of these areas are connected. And when even just one of them isn't working, it literally will hold everything else back. Here are the 5 core areas of money that matter: income, spending, debt, savings, and investing. Like I said earlier, most of my clients are doing okay in 1 or 3 of these areas, but the gaps are in others. That's what's keeping them stuck. And that's where I come in. I help you take control of all 5 areas without sacrificing your life, without giving up everything you love, without turning into someone you're not. Because when your spending is under control, your debt has a real payoff plan behind it, and your savings feel solid, and your investments start compounding, that's when everything changes. You start building real wealth. You start feeling secure. And most of all, you start living your life with more peace, less stress, more money, and way more joy. So that's what I believe. That's what I teach. That is what I stand for. You can do both. You are not the problem. You just need some new skills. And you need a money system that works in real life, not just on paper. You don't need a new fancy app. You just need a system that works for you and your real life that's focused on those 5 key areas of money I just spoke on: income, spending, debt, savings, and investing. Now, if you're nodding your head thinking, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for, then listen to yourself. It's time. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to stop thinking about it. It's time to go all in on you so that you can change your life. Yes, it's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you a little energy. And yeah, it will cost you some money because Own Your Wealth is not free. But let's get real for a second. The way you're living life right now, the way you're handling money right now is also costing you. It's costing you your peace of mind. It's costing you tons of money, lost money in credit card interest, lost money from not investing, lost money due to overspending, right? So let's stop kidding ourselves. You're already living a life that's costing you lots of money. And what if you can redirect that money to something that will change your life versus something that's going to collect dust in your closet? Because you're going to spend the money anyway. You're going to spend the money anyway. And the time is going to pass. A year is going to pass anyway. So the real question is, do you want to spend your money and your time on something that you'll forget all about, that really will add no value to your life? Or do you want to spend it on something that will literally change everything for you? Which one are you going to choose? If this is speaking to you, you know what to do. Go to jermainefoley.com/consult. I hope this episode was helpful. I hope these core beliefs spoke to you, and I will see you all next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Wait, before you go, have you checked out my free class? It's all about the steps you need to take if you want to build wealth without going on a strict budget. To sign up, simply go to jermainefoley.com/wealth class. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/wealth class. See you in there.